For centuries, Mediterranean ports have sheltered millions of seafaring vessels from rough seas and stormy weather. Throughout the eons of time, ports have been a hub of commercial activity, such as trading, bartering, travel, the export and import of goods. They have created employment and housed millions of residents in their hinterlands. These activities are still thriving in ports today. The Port Photovoltaic Electric Vehicles project was launched in 2012 to demonstrate and encourage energy efficiency in the ports of Valletta, Circeova, Catania and Gela. All this commercial activity to date depends heavily on carbon-based fuels. Ships berth for long hours inside the harbour, waiting for crews to change, freight to be loaded and offloaded, and passengers to embark and disembark. During this entire time, ships need power to sustain their operations, which include the accommodation of their crews and the running of a myriad of onboard equipment. While at berth, cruise liners act as hotels for their guests and require as much electrical power as a town of 10,000 inhabitants. All this electrical power is generated by the auxiliary engines situated in the vessel's engine room. But these engines emit excessive noise as well as smoke from their chimneys, for the entire time the ship is at anchor. Moreover, ferries and cruise liners generate road traffic as passengers use the roads leading to the harbour to get to the ferry and cruise terminals. The transport of cargo generates road traffic congestion, as goods are carried in heavy trucks to and from the quay to the commercial outlets and warehouses. All this contributes to a noisy and polluted atmosphere in the port area. With the aid of European Union funds, the project connects 4 port areas and brings together Transport Malta, the Maltese Ministry for Transport and Infrastructure, the Port Authority of Catania, the Province of Caltanissetta, and the Municipality of Gela. Together, these 5 entities launched 44 electric vehicles in the port areas to be used by port officials while carrying out regulative and administrative duties as part of their daily activities. In Malta, 13 full electric vehicles are now being used by the Transport Malta's maintenance crews, enforcement officers, and traffic management officials. As a result, the authorities' impact on the road is minimal, since these vehicles leave no tailpipe emissions and emit no noise. In fact, since adopting these vehicles as part of its fleet, Transport Malta officials have driven a total of 85,000 kilometers using full electric vehicles, saving 20 tons of CO2 emissions in 12 months. Transport Malta also installed several charging points at its premises to charge the fleet of 13 electric vehicles. Since the fleet varies in the type of vehicles, so do the charging points which service them, from a single-point wall box to a 3-point fast charger, which charges an electric car in less than 30 minutes. In a bid to further reduce its impact on the environment, through the Port PVEV project, Transport Malta covered its roof at the Port Administration building in Marsa to a photovoltaic plant. The plant powers the building with solar power, reducing the building's dependency on electricity and in turn its reliance on fossil fuels. This also translates to 165 tons of CO2 emissions saved from the building operations. Driving a car using only solar power used to be a scientific fantasy, but not anymore. 3 solar charging stations were installed, one at Circeova, one at the Tashbish Marina, and the other at the Deepwater Quay Car Park in Marsa. The stations generate solar power from the photovoltaic array installed on the roof of the structure. The solar power is stored in batteries in the room, next to the charging points. The station batteries pump solar power inside the vehicle's battery. When not in use, the station either stores the power or feeds the excess electricity into the grid to avoid waste of energy. By using the stations to charge the onboard batteries, electric cars are emissions-free, noiseless and completely carbon neutral, leaving absolutely no negative impacts on the environment. A solution has been found for ships as well. Cold ironing is a process where electrical power is supplied to ships from the quayside, while the main and auxiliary engines of the ships are shut down. Using this infrastructure, ships can shut off their engines for the entire time they are docked at the harbour and use the electrical power supplied from the national electricity grid to power the floating city. Through the Port PVEV project, Transport Malta studied this option and its feasibility for the Port of Valletta, considering its various quays, the space available for the infrastructure, and the cost needed to provide this service at the Grand Harbour. Catania's harbour has been given a transformation similar to that of Valletta. Charging stations are installed in the city of Catania, providing charging points for 20 electric bicycles, also known as pedelecs. Pedelecs are bicycles where the rider's pedaling is assisted by a small electric motor, which helps the rider's pedaling until the rider reaches a speed of 25 km per hour. Because pedaling is assisted, the rider finds that riding a pedelec is less physically taxing than riding a normal bicycle. And this comes in handy, especially when riding up slopes and against heavy winds. In the throng of a busy urban city like Catania, pedelecs can easily replace the need for a car, as it is much easier for a rider to maneuver through traffic using a bicycle than it is when driving a car. The Port Authority of Catania is also using an electric car to perform day-to-day duties in the port area. The Port Authority and other electric car owners in Catania can charge their vehicles using the on-road charging pillar or the solar car charging station, which can charge up to 2 cars at the same time. A mix of all the initiatives made in Catania and Valletta can be found in Gela. The municipality, with the help of the province of Caltanissetta, has introduced green mobility within the port area and the adjoining town of Gela. 10 electric vehicles ranging from crew vans, passenger cars and pedelecs offer municipality officials and residents improved accessibility at little to no cost to the environment. The 4 harbour areas of Valletta, Circeova, Catania and Gela have seen the deployment of 44 full electric vehicles, resulting in a combined total of 200 tons of CO2 saved. A total area of 1,600 square meters has been covered by photovoltaic panels, producing an annual total of 260,000 kilowatt-hours. 146,000 Maltese and 1.2 million Sicilian residents are now breathing cleaner air and enjoy better accessibility as a direct result of the Port PVEV project. Operational Programme Italy-Malta 2007-2014, Cohesion Policy 2007-2013, a sea of opportunities for your future. This project is 85% co-financed by the European Regional Development Fund, investing in your future.